So how will Plattner's refusal to apologize impact his Senate run? Let's bring in Democratic strategist Megan Hayes and GOP strategist Luke Ball. Welcome to both of you.
Thanks, Mike.
So Graham Plattner has had a scandal-prone campaign so far, and yet he gets the VIP treatment from Time magazine. Can he survive it, Megan?
It'll be interesting to see. He has a lot of baggage. I don't think the establishment Democrats or moderate Democrats are really in his favor, as you saw from wanting Janet Mills to run. It's just really going to be up to people in Maine who are independent voters whether or not they're going to vote for Susan Collins again, who has voted with Donald Trump 95% of the time and endorsed his economic policies, which are really causing a great deal of havoc on their lives right now, or whether they're going to vote for someone like Graham Plattner, who does have a tremendous amount of baggage and is not necessarily someone who might hold their values.
If you believe polling, Luke, and it's still early, Plattner, even with the scandals, leads Republican Senator Susan Collins. Does that worry you, Luke?
Doesn't really worry me much at all, because I don't believe that the people of Maine are going to elect somebody like this. In fact, the guy has more baggage than a Delta Airlines terminal, and the Democrats are backing him 100%. And let's be clear, he didn't just have a couple of gaffes along the way. He didn't have some negative story come out where he drop-kicked a puppy. He had multiple instances over the years where he had a Nazi tattoo, called himself a communist. He maligned sexual assault victims. He promoted anti-Semites online. And that's just half the list I have here. And I only wrote down half the list of the scandals that he currently has right now, and yet the Democrats continue to back him over and over again. It says a lot about the state of that party, where any one of these line items a few years ago would have totally disqualified you from having the night shift and an Exxon, and yet now this is the lead for the Democrats to try to take on that other candidate in the upcoming election.
Democrats released their 2024 election autopsy report this week. Even so, there's been some criticism about DNC Chair Ken Martin about the way he handled it. Here's Senator Chris Van Hollen, and I'll get you to react to it.
This is a very shoddy piece of work. It's an incomplete piece of work, and I can understand why Ken Martin was reluctant to release it earlier. No, we're 6 months from a very important election, and we should not be changing horses at this time. I will say that the overall thrust of the report indicates that, we should not just go back to the pre-Trump status quo.
Megan, did the report backfire?
Oh, absolutely. And they mismanaged the process of how they handled it. And I think that one thing that people are really giving the DNC too much credit here is they don't have anything to do with the midterms. They are an operation that manages the voter file, and they are really involved in the primaries for 2028 with the primary calendar and the debate cycle for picking a presidential candidate. They don't really have anything to do with the midterms. So I think that all of this nonsense is sort of a lot of noise for mismanagement. I think that Ken should take full responsibility for that, which seems to be questionable if what they're doing or not. But also, this whole autopsy was so mismanaged in how it was even put out and who it was done by. It's just, it's all bad and terrible, and Democrats, the DNC should fix it and be ashamed.
Luke, what's your reaction to this 192-page document?
Yeah, I think that the Democrat Party is in a state of disarray right now, and they've had well over a year and a half to come up with a leader, to come up with an alternative proposal. And if they don't want to read the autopsy of what happened in 2024, I don't know if they're going to glean any lessons moving forward and have anything more to offer the American people in the midterm elections. Maybe if they had not spent millions upon millions of dollars astroturfing their campaign rallies with celebrities, or $5,000 on Kamala Harris's fingernails before any given event, they might have used the donor resources in a much better direction and actually had the funding to carry through for some of the midterm candidates they're propping up. As Republicans are heading into the midterm elections, I think we're going to fine-tune our messaging. We have great messengers in James Blair and the president himself and Susie Wiles, just a great White House team that's now been dispatched on the campaign trail. And I'm feeling pretty decent that if we fine-tune a couple of things that the voters have told us they want fine-tuned, we're going to be in a great position.
Megan Hayes and Luke Ball, thanks very much for your time today.